Your emotions are not your friend. Let me say that again. Your emotions are not your friend. They are not some sacred inner voice guiding you toward truth and happiness. They are biological reactions designed for a world that no longer exists. A world where immediate, emotional responses meant the difference between life and death. But in today's world, your emotional reactions are sabotaging your success, destroying your relationships, and keeping you trapped in cycles of regret and failure. Every single day, you make decisions based on how you feel in the moment. You get triggered by a comment and fire back with something you'll regret. You feel overwhelmed and quit on your goals. You get anxious about a presentation and avoid the opportunity that could change your career. You let anger control your words and destroy relationships that took years to build. You are being controlled by chemical reactions in your brain, and you don't even realize it. But here's what the top 1% of high achievers know that you don't. They have learned the most powerful skill in human existence: the ability to not react, the ability to feel the emotion, acknowledge it, and then choose their response based on logic, strategy, and long-term thinking, instead of the primitive impulses screaming in their heads. This is not about becoming emotionless. This is not about suppressing your feelings or pretending they don't exist. This is about taking back control of your life by mastering the space between stimulus and response, the space where your power lives, the space where your future is determined. By the time you finish this audiobook, you will never be the same person who started listening. You will have the tools, the knowledge, and the mental frameworks to control your emotions. Instead of being controlled by them, you will learn how to stay calm under pressure, make better decisions when stakes are high, and build the kind of unshakable inner strength that separates winners from everyone else. Chapter 1: The Hidden Cost of Emotional Reactivity. Most people have no idea how much their emotional reactions are costing them. They think it's normal to get triggered. They think it's human nature to lose control when things get difficult. They think that strong emotions are a sign of passion and authenticity. They are wrong, dead wrong. And this delusion is destroying their lives in ways they can't even see. Let me paint you a picture of what emotional reactivity actually looks like in the real world. You're in a meeting with your boss and colleagues. Someone challenges your idea in a way that feels disrespectful. Your heart starts racing. Your face gets hot. The voice in your head starts screaming about how unfair this is, how they don't understand your vision, how they're trying to make you look bad. And before you know it, you're defending yourself with an edge in your voice that makes everyone in the room uncomfortable. You've just damaged your professional reputation over a 60-second emotional reaction. Or maybe you're having an argument with your partner about something relatively minor. They say something that hits a nerve. Instead of staying calm and working toward a solution, you escalate. You bring up past grievances. You say things designed to hurt them because you're hurting. 10 minutes later, you've turned a small disagreement into a relationship, threatening fight that will take days to recover from, all because you couldn't control your initial emotional reaction. Here's the brutal truth that no one wants to face. Every time you react emotionally, instead of responding thoughtfully, You are training your brain to be weaker. You are reinforcing neural pathways that make you more likely to lose control the next time. You are literally rewiring your brain for failure, for conflict, for regret. And the worst part is that you're doing it voluntarily. The science is clear on this. Every emotional reaction triggers the release of stress hormones, like cortisol and adrenaline. These chemicals flood your system, cloud your judgment, and make it impossible to think clearly. But here's what most people don't realize. These hormones don't just disappear when the situation is over. They stay in your system for hours, sometimes days, affecting every decision you make, every interaction you have, every thought that crosses your mind. This means that one emotional reaction in the morning can sabotage your entire day. That argument with your spouse affects how you perform at work. That stressful email triggers a cascade of poor decisions that ripple through your entire week. You become trapped in a cycle of reactivity, where each emotional outburst makes the next one more likely. But the cost goes deeper than just your daily performance. Chronic emotional reactivity literally changes your brain structure. Studies using brain imaging technology show that people who regularly lose emotional control have smaller prefrontal cortices. This is the part of your brain responsible for rational thinking, planning, and impulse control. In other words, the more you react emotionally, the less capable you become of thinking clearly and making good decisions. The financial cost of emotional reactivity is staggering. Think about every opportunity you've missed because you were too angry, too anxious, or too overwhelmed to think straight. Every relationship you've damaged because you couldn't keep your mouth shut when you were upset. Every goal you've abandoned because you felt discouraged and decided to quit. The compound effect of these losses over a lifetime is devastating. I've worked with executives who have lost millions of dollars because they made decisions while angry. I've seen entrepreneurs destroy partnerships that took years to build because they couldn't control their emotional reactions. During negotiations, I've watched brilliant people sabotage their own careers by sending emails they wrote while frustrated or making presentations while anxious. The relationship cost is even more heartbreaking. Every time you lose control emotionally with someone you care about, you withdraw trust from the relationship bank account. You create distance. You plant seeds of resentment. Over time, these emotional reactions accumulate and destroy the very relationships that matter most to you. Your children watch how you handle emotions and learn that this is normal. Your partner starts walking on eggshells around you because they never know what might trigger you. Your colleagues begin to see you as unreliable and unstable. Your reputation becomes one of someone who can't be counted on. When things get tough, but perhaps the highest cost of emotional reactivity is what it does to your relationship with yourself. Every time you lose control, you lose respect for yourself. You know that you're capable of more. You know that you could have handled the situation better. But in the moment you felt powerless against your own emotions, this creates a cycle of self-doubt and shame that erodes your confidence from the inside out. The good news is that this is completely within your control. Emotional reactivity is not your destiny. It's not written in your DNA. It's not an unchangeable part of who you are. It's a habit, and like any habit, it can be broken and replaced with something better. The question is whether you're willing to do the work to change it. Chapter 2: Why your brain is wired to sabotage you. To understand how to control your emotions, you first need to understand why your brain seems determined to make you lose control. The truth is, your emotional responses are not random or meaningless. They are the result of millions of years of evolution, designed to keep your ancestors alive in a world full of immediate physical threats. But the world has changed dramatically, and your brain hasn't gotten the memo. Let me introduce you to the most important part of your brain that you've probably never heard of: the amygdala. This small, almond-shaped structure sits deep in your brain and serves as your personal alarm system. Its job is to scan for threats and trigger immediate responses to keep you safe. When your ancestors encountered a saber-toothed tiger, the amygdala would flood their system with adrenaline, shut down rational thinking, and prepare them for fight or flight. This response saved lives. The problem is that your amygdala can't tell the difference between a saber-toothed tiger and an angry email from your boss. It can't distinguish between a physical threat and a social threat. It treats criticism, rejection, embarrassment, and conflict as if they were life or death situations. So when your colleague questions your idea in a meeting, your amygdala sounds the alarm, just as if you were being attacked by a predator. This is called an amygdala hijack, and it happens to you more often than you realize. The moment your brain perceives a threat, rational thinking goes offline. Blood flow is redirected away from your prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain responsible for logic, planning, and impulse control, and toward your limbic system, which controls emotional responses.